In this video, we want to clarify the terminology, the methods, and the main goals of the Purdue Green Lab Initiative Senior Design Project. And we'll start with clarifying things like the term green. Sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. You may have heard this before. It's one of the first definitions of sustainability, and it's from the Brundtland Commission. There's another way to look at sustainability, and that's through the 3 pillars of sustainability, or the triple bottom line, which is the environment, social, and economic realms. And something is considered sustainable when it satisfies all of these things. For instance, take a water bottle. We want to make it really durable because that satisfies some sort of social need. Everybody wants really durable water bottles. However, when you think of it from an environmental perspective, this might not be sustainable because when they get rid of those water bottles, we're going to have a bunch of really durable water bottles that take a lot of energy to put into them in order to make them degrade. So we're trying to say here, it's a matter of context, and we ask that you use your common sense when we use the term sustainable. Also, we'll probably use green and sustainable interchangeably. Our title, Purdue Green Lab Initiative, comes with the goal of involving the public and the social side of sustainability. We didn't want to use the title you see before you, which is our report title, because it's almost a paragraph long and not easy to read. Furthermore, these terms are actually used by very professional organizations such as the National Science Foundation, the Royal Society of Chemistry, American Chemistry Society, and the National Institute of Environmental. Before introducing the methods section, we wanted to make it clear that this is a pilot study. Therefore, we do not plan to use the data we gather to write a final thesis or publish a paper or obtain a master's or PhD degree. So we spent a lot of time last semester looking at what other universities are doing to reduce their own lab waste. And we noticed a couple common themes, one of which was doing things at sort of the lab level. And this is where the sustainability score sheet comes into play, because it's something that you all can take a look at and you can all see kind of where we're trying to go with this, but you can complete it on your own terms as a lab. And it's more filled out by someone like the lab manager or the PI. And then another theme we saw was individualized lab user assistance. So this is like you guys ask us questions that pertains to your research and what you do in your lab, and we can answer them. And this helps us to get you guys more involved. And this is the sustainability socials aspect. Above all, we know you guys are busy, and we want to make all the data we collect simple and quick to obtain because we want to encourage your participation. To assess your participation is the main reason we created the weekly inventory sheet. So try not to think too much about what we're asking for and just give us your best estimate. To assess your engagement and to get your feedback, we're also going to send out. Thus, it should be obvious that your participation and your honest feedback are very pivotal to what we are doing. So please be honest and please participate, and we appreciate your help so much. Our ultimate goal is to process the lab user data we gather and form it into some sort of report where we can provide recommendations on future program implementation at Purdue. And with this, we know that some of you care. And for those of you who do care, we want to pass on your techniques to others. We want to provide you with other techniques to consider. And we want to be able to recommend how to spread this engagement to others. There are some of you who aren't as excited about sustainability as we are. We know this. And we want to understand why. We want to be able to provide recommendations about how to involve lab users with similar mindsets, or how to at least get them thinking. Regardless of what happens, we mainly want to increase your awareness when you're working in the lab. We want you to think about your potential impact on the environment a little more than you did before we came. So we're from Environmental and Ecological Engineering, or EEE, and we're working with REM, or Radiological and Environmental Management, at Purdue to solve the problem of lab waste here. So your help could contribute to a program that Purdue's Office of Sustainability is already working to implement, which is, as you can see from their 2014 short-term goals, to establish a Green Lab training and certification program. Your help could go on to persist at Purdue, even past your stay. So thank you so much for all of your help and cooperation. As a sort of little aside here, if any of you are still hung up on the term sustainability and whether or not it should be more defined than it is, others are too, actually. So you can check out any of these papers. Fricker's kind of more for the idea that it should be mushy because it deals with people, so it can't really be that defined, whereas Marshall and Toffel argue that it should be rigidly defined. And I mentioned the Brundtland Commission earlier. Thanks again.